Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name's Phil. We're just doing a bit of an impromptu live this morning because the rumours are that Dennis Praet is going to leave Leicester City. It looks like the deal's pretty much done. He's done a medical at Torino. Sounds like it's a loan deal with the option to buy for 15 million euros. I wanted to know your views and get your comments on it, so please do let us know what you think to this rumour. Feels like at the moment we should be adding players to the squad, if you ask me, not letting decent players like Dennis Praet go. I would have him in the starting lineup myself, so it'd be really interesting to know what has been going on at the club on Dennis Praet. It feels like we've heard rumours that there's been a play me or lose me type of ultimatum with Brendan Rodgers. So really not quite sure what's happened at the club. So interesting to know what you think about it. Do get your views in, get your comments in. We put a poll on Twitter if anybody is watching. Wayne says here, not sure that was a good move. We're light on signing, Phil. Obviously, there's rumours of Hamza Chowdhury going out on loan, which perhaps would have made a little bit more sense, being a youngster and with needing game time. But Dennis Praet, for me, I don't know. Maddison's not been performing that well on the pitch since his injury. Strange, but it just seems strange to let Dennis Praet, who was very much on the verge of, on the edges of that Belgium team, Belgium being like they were ranked number one in the FIFA World Rankings. You've got a player who's in that squad with Kevin De Bruyne, Yuri Tielemans. For me, it seems something has happened, I would say. Patrick says, shockingly treated, should have played instead of the COVID party boys who waltzed back into the team and did feck all, I think is what Patrick was going to say there. Patrick, I think you've got a point there. What has happened? Obviously, Dennis Praet had his injury, but it feels like he has fell out of favour there at the club. Nick saying, gutted for Praet, such a class player who deserved a lot more, especially over Perez. A lot of fans will agree with you, Nick, on that. Perez seems to divide the fans. If it was, again, just my personal opinion, Dennis Praet, for me, would be in my starting team. I think he helps Yuri Tielemans out. He allows Yuri Tielemans to be a better player. And I really like him. Now, I know we've signed Sumeri. We've perhaps got a lot of central midfielders. We've got Mendy. For me, and again, this is just my view, and I want to know your views, Dennis Praet is above Mendy, is above Hamza Chowdhury, is above Sumeri. For me, all these players, I would have, like I say, I'd have Dennis Praet in above Perez. I'd have Dennis Praet in above Maddison. It's just my views. I want to know what you want to say. Wayne says we need signings. Team very flat at the moment. Jesse Lingard for me, mate. I tell you what, Wayne, I think that's a decent shout. £15 million for Jesse Lingard. Why would you not want to have him for that? I really do. Lawrence says Praet is currently our best right midfielder. Would you agree with Lawrence there? Stuart's asking who's coming in then today. There is rumours of players coming in. I think you know what you've got with Dennis Praet. This is why I'm not sure. I've never seen him have a particularly bad game. I always thought he was more than decent. Tom, who is joining me tonight, don't forget we're live tonight at 7:30 on the Fan Zone show. Tom is going to join me. He says, poor business from the club for me. Very good player. Dennis can play a number of roles in the team and his work rate is fantastic. Tom, it doesn't seem right that Dennis Praet is on his way out of the club. Quality player, international ranked, does not seem that a very sensible move for me. I'm going to try out Jack. Oh, no, I'm not. He's gone. He's come. Bad move, says Nick, but I think he isn't happy. So why keep an unhappy player? Yeah, I think that's what's happened, Nick. I think he's perhaps had an ultimatum with Rodgers. Aaron, watching on YouTube, saying Praet is so underrated. Patrick saying nobody wants Mendy. Yeah, the Ginger Posty, thanks Jason Mills there, saying rumours of David Neves. It is. Listen, I'm just like, it seems strange that we've got a quality Belgium international player in Dennis Praet, who clearly has already, for me, he's proven that he can play at Premier League level. Would you agree with that? Dennis Praet looks like he's good enough to play in the Premier League. So I would at least have him in the squad, let alone I would have him in my starting team. Wayne is saying we should have had more game time. Ivan is saying Praet, Tillemans, and Soumare. Do you think? Well, Ivan, do you think Soumare is better than Dennis Praet? Well, obviously not, because you've got him there in your three lineup, but we're letting him go. Ben is saying a double swoop for Lingard and Neves. I'd be ecstatic. I can wish though. We're not going to get Lingard. I don't think we're even rumoured to be with him at the moment. Lawrence is saying about Benkovic. Well, clearly Benkovic isn't going to make the Leicester City starting lineup because we've been short and he doesn't get there. Jay, thanks for watching, says he does better than sitting on the bench every week. Let's see. I think Jack's just joined. Let's see if I can add him in. Here we go.
Yeah, good you.
Jack, what's your views on Dennis Praet? I think people know that he's one of the people I would have in my starting lineup. I'd have him in the starting side, Jack.
Yeah.
At the moment. Well, I mean, you were at Norwich.
Yeah.
Maddison's performance for me was not outstanding again. I'm just interested to know what your views are on Dennis Praet.
Dennis Praet, fantastic player. Very underrated at this football club. Doesn't get the chance he deserves. How Perez gets ahead of any player at this football club, I do understand of Brendan Rodgers' thinking. James Maddison, he's been poor for quite a lot of games now. He needs dropping. We need players who can actually perform to the level who we see every game and not players we don't who are on holiday half of the time when the other 10 players are performing on the pitch.
I mean, Jack Lee says here it's good news for Kieran Dewsbury Hall, but listen, KDH, I like him what I'm seeing from him in little flashes, but he's very much an up-and-coming talent. Dennis Praet is a proven Premier League top, international player. We know what he can do. He's reliable.
Yeah, he's very reliable. When he's given the chance, he performs to the standards that Brendan Rodgers wants. Obviously, he had that injury against Stoke, what took him out for quite a bit of the season. Last time we seen him were against West Ham, away from home, which we lost, and everyone seemed to have blamed him for the defeat because he played in that centre attacking midfielder role. I think.
I mean,
so.
Darrell says here, Soumare looks like he could be awesome, but Praet always delivered in his opinion. Jack, we got the Europa League coming up. Big teams we're playing: Napoli, obviously, Moscow, and Legia Warsaw. We've got a big season coming up. It seems very strange to let Praet go.
Yeah, I think any player really, instead of Praet, should have gone. Hamza Chowdhury, Philip Pitt, Jakupovic, the goalkeeper. There were quite a few I would have let go this summer. Jose Perez for a start. I would have sold him to Newcastle back for £1. He's probably worth that. Dennis Praet, it ain't really a good deal, is it, on loan if we haven't got the money? Because we need the money to actually go out and buy an attacking player. And I think in my mind, of attacking player, it'd be a damn Traore from Wolves. Got everything I want in a winger, just not shooting. But I'm sure he'd work on that if he signed for Leicester.
I know you're a fan of Traore. I'm not sure how he would fit into our team, Jack, if I'm honest. And again, he had one of those games yesterday, Traore, where he just didn't put it away again. Jack, listen, I wonder if some of this is the fact people forget very quickly that missing out on Champions League last season cost us effectively £80 million. We haven't sold a big player this summer as yet. Obviously, transfer window deadline shut soon, but we haven't done it yet. This could be the club just trying to balance the books and juggle players in and out, and maybe thinking if Dennis Praet isn't quite fitting in. There is rumours of him and Brendan Rodgers having a bit of an ultimatum, Jack, as well.
That's just speculation. I won't read too much. People kept saying James Maddison's fell out with Brendan Rodgers. Just the papers and that trying to make a story, they have to do it to sell it, don't they? They're linking everyone with anybody this transfer window. I mean, now we're being linked with Andrea Delutman, who used to play for Fulham. David Neres from Ajax. whoever comes in and this attacking-minded player, what Brendan Rodgers wants, it remains to be seen. Whether it's a player who's out in public at the minute being linked with Leicester or a player that isn't. It could be a surprise deal tomorrow come 11 o'clock.
Yeah, indeed, Jack. Listen, I think it's a slightly strange one, like we keep saying about it. The story, just a few people saying, what is the story? Well, the story is that he is going to Torino. It's going to be a loan deal. It's going to be for 15 million euros, which is less money. Well, obviously it's going to be loaned with the option to buy 15 million euros. We were trying to check what we actually paid for him. We think sometimes these things are a bit vague. We think we paid 80 million pounds for him.
Yeah, I think when you've had a player so long and they haven't played, I mean, the value goes down on them, don't they? Rather than going up because they played so long. Look at Lamani. We brought him for, what was it, 20 odd million pound, and then we sold him for about £5 million to who he went to next. The valuation goes down, Phil, when you don't play enough games and teams only want to play a certain amount than what you actually paid for them. So you're losing money there. I mean, Dennis Praet could have been about a £56 million player if he actually played.
Yeah, indeed. Ben saying there, we've got a big squad and desperately need a right winger, which is a priority. Remember, it's a 25-man squad we have to use, so we have to let players go. Which I agree with Ben, but I would say at the moment, people like Benkovic is taking up a squad position and doesn't play. And again, if I was given much as I'm a fan of Hamza Chowdhury, if I was a Mendy, I think all right. If I was given the choice, Jack, and I'd ask this to people who are watching this, if you had to pick a defensive midfielder to go in the Leicester City side, who would you pick out of Dennis Praet, Hamza Chowdhury, or Mendy? So, Jack, I'll ask you, and if people put in the comments, which one of those three would you pick?
It wouldn't be Dennis Praet for me. He'd be staying at the football club.
But that's what I'm saying, Jack. Who would you put in your starting lineup at Leicester out of those three?
Dennis Praet. I mean, Hamza Chowdhury, he's an old school tackler, isn't he? He's a leg breaker at times. You worry when he comes on the pitch and what he's going to do next. Papi Mendy done a fantastic job when Wilfried Ndidi injured, but he's not a full-time player, is he? Papi Mendy, you know, he's not as fast and he's not as big and he's not as muscly as Wilf. You know, Wilf wins the ball with ease. Now Mendy has to make it hard work.
Yeah, brilliant. Listen, Jack, I think the fans are a little bit split there when I put that question. I thought a lot of people would agree with Dennis Praet, but a few put Hamza Chowdhury and a few put Mendy in there. So it's going to be an interesting one. Hitesh says, personally think this is a bad move. Let's hope we don't come to regret it. We've certainly had a few midfielders not work out over the last 4 or 5 years. Before Brendan as well. And I've chuck in there Dennis Praet. I think of Gökhan Inler. Obviously,
Gelson Fernandez.
There was Silva and Ibora. You know, we've had quite a few players come in and just not work out, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, that happens at every game. Potente, Ibora, he were a fantastic midfielder. Leicester, he wasn't given the chance. He were a leader on the pitch and he scored quite a lot of goals from set pieces and he knew how to help the younger players out with his experience. Gökhan Inler, he never really played for the I mean, Gelson Fernandez, he weren't really that either. He missed that penalty against Cardiff away from home. Didn't know where to be seen. They were sold. So we've had some poor midfielders. We've had some good midfielders in Esteban Cambiasso on his last legs. So yeah, we've had some good and bad. I think mostly good in the end of it. Obviously, N'Golo Kante came in. He was a fantastic midfielder one season. Danny Drinkwater was good. And then Shamey's career derailed down the line at Chelsea.
Indeed, Jack. Listen, thanks for joining us. Tonight we're live as ever at 7:30 on the Fan Zone show. And that'll be me chatting with fans, and Tom's going to be joining us. Jack, thanks so much for joining us. I'm really disappointed that Dennis Praet looks like he's going. It seems like a real shame. Don't forget, Jack, just before we let you go, Wednesday night you've got talk us through Holly Morgan and what you've got going on your show.
Yes, so on Wednesday, I'm joined by Holly Morgan, Leicester City coach, former Leicester City women's footballer. We'll be talking about the women's game in general. We'll be talking about the Leicester City women, how to prepare to go into the new season in the USL. We'll also be talking about everything in general. So join us, and it'll be an exciting show.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget, join me live tonight at 7:30 in the Fan Zone show, and we'll talk about Dennis Praet. We'll talk about Saturday's performance and this mini break, another international mini break. Let's see who's playing well for Leicester and who's maybe, who do we need to sign. See you all. See you in a bit.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors: ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, and Hope Against Cancer. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.